My name is Zoran. I am graphic designer and illustrator, 27 years old, coming from Slovenia. To do as much work as you could and not to think about so much about the exposure and about the. I mean, it's nice, but I think today too much people think too much about the exposure and about getting into the blogs and getting people to know them and talk about them, which is of course important today if you want to pay the bills, but to focus as much as you can on your own work. I know it's hard, but I try to do it. During the day I work as a graphic designer, and during the night, in the free time, I try to do as many freelance stuff as I can. Yes. There are two guys who are organizing punk rock, hardcore and metal shows in Ljubljana, and we became friends because I was going to a lot of their shows, and eventually we started talking that I should do some posters for them. So I don't know, I worked for them. I mean, it wasn't like a real job, but more like getting the first experiences, and I think it lasted for a couple of years. Then after that I started working for Buba. Buba is booking crew or booking lady. It's a promoter from Ljubljana who is working in the promotion field for I think over 20 years, working for a variety of genres and bands, big bands, small bands, mostly the independent scene. And I've been working for her I think from 2007, and we're still working together. Before she even knew I'm doing anything connected to graphic design, and I think at one show we were talking and she proposed that I should do some poster for her, and that we'll see if it's okay if we get along, and this is how it started. We work now for more than 6 years, so we are really good friends, and I usually know all the bands that she books. Sometimes we even talk about which bands to book. I mean, I'm kind of connected with the not only with doing the posters and taking over the whole visual side of the Buba, but we are also talking a lot about which bands to work with. So it's more than just the posters. So usually I already know the bands, so I have no problem. I mean, part of the research is already done because I like most of the bands that she works with, so that's that's a plus. I finally got my true style in the last couple of years. I was trying a lot of other things and searching and experimenting. I still do, but I think that now I found something that I can experiment with, but still has this familiar image. I usually try to combine a lot of hand-drawn elements, and I usually finish all my stuff on the computer. Lately I was working on an exhibition, which was I tried to do as much as I could by hand, so I did a lot of painting and a lot of experimenting with acrylics and coloring pencils and stuff like that. I don't know. Every piece I do, every poster I do, I try to do something new and try to have fun, because I get bored of stuff really fast, and it's I don't want to get bored with my work, so sure. I try to learn new things and try new things every time. When I'm working on a poster, I try to think as much as I can as a graphic designer, so to show the identity of the band, of the music, so the poster can have a certain message. But when I'm working on my own stuff, there is a lot of presence of the nature and animals and plants. I think it's more like a visual language that it's my signature. So a lot of patterns, a lot of yeah, a lot of weird drawing stuff. more that than a certain symbol that I incorporate. It's just the stuff I like to draw. So I don't know. I don't think it's so dark. Maybe, but I know people who do much darker stuff. I do some work in the editorial field, editorial illustration, and I mean, New York Times is one of the publications that always had this thing for experimentation for young artists, and so I just, you know, found an email, wrote to the guy, and he replied me really nicely, and we did a couple of illustrations together. I hope there'll be more, but yeah, it was pretty nice experience. So I try to do more that kind of stuff because it's interesting and always pushing the borders in thinking. Me and my friend Rok, we are running a small zine publishing house. So we released 5 zines to this date and more to come. The whole reason why we started doing it was because we thought that there is not enough of stuff going on in this field in Slovenia, and because we both love zines so much. And yeah, I mean, we release a lot of our own stuff, our own projects, but we also did this zine that was compiled of selected works from other people. So I think we'll try to release more stuff from other artists in the future. And yeah, we were. I mean, last year was the second small. It wasn't really a conference, but more like it was not an exhibition, but like a zine fair, which was held on Metelkova. It's called Cafe in Hours, and a lot of artists who are working with zines or with different paper matter, like posters or whatever, they came and showed their stuff, sell their stuff. So a lot of people see that something is going on with it, and a lot of people came, so it was great, and I think we're gonna do it again this year. I grew up reading a lot of comics, the old Yugoslavian comics, which were also a lot of that was into the cowboy themes, and I think it kind of transformed into this. I mean, everybody loves Sergio Leone and young Clint Eastwood, so that's basically it. I saw that, you know, comics are not only the stuff I was reading when I was young, but we had this, you know, limited exposure to stuff that was available to us when we were kids. It was mostly old comics from Yugoslavia, you know, from Italian artists, so it's more like commercial comics. And now I'm, you know, not all the time, but, you know, sometimes I see now I understand the comics are not only, you know, the stuff I was reading as a kid, but it's a much modern and much more experimental field, and it's an interesting art medium which is not so popular right now, and I'm kind of wondering why is that. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm not that interested in it as I was before, but sometimes I buy a comic, or I'm still, I mean, the last comic I bought was still, I think, Batman with Kevin Smith, so it's still the more commercial field, but from this more like experimental or graphic perspective, I like what No Brow is doing from London. It's like a small publishing house. They release a lot of comics which are more, you know, like experimental and trying new things. So, yeah. I think it has pretty rich scene. There's a lot of options from very different kind of genres of music and very different kind of places. I usually go out to some show in Metelkova, which is a big chain of venues and art places in the center of Ljubljana. And yeah, I think that's the most popular place for alternative culture. But there are a lot of other small places that are also, doing interesting stuff and holding interesting parties, shows, exhibitions, and so on. Not really happy. It was a weird feeling, but I thought everyone else was too, because everyone seemed so happy, because everyone was, thinking alike and seeing the same stuff and feeling the same stuff. So it was kind of catharsis. As an artist, I was actually thinking about, like, okay, these are turbulent times. What can we do as an artist? Can we change some stuff? I know a couple of people, a couple of artists who are always, drawing transparents and, giving them to people. So and it's really creative and it's really fun. Why I didn't do it, I don't know. I I don't know, but I think it's I think that the art should be present at everything that's going on right now in Slovenia, of course.